Look at the picture. See the skull. Visible Frankenstein controls. The Brain Thoughts broadcasting radio. The Frankenstein earphone radio. The latest new skull reforming to contain all Frankenstein controls.
Today's episode of Frankenstein Control is sponsored by Bernie's Billy Beer. I don't care who you are, get that shit out of my god-dang face.
Oh, so they're real now.
Yes, they're
Okay,
real. They make 3 kinds of beer. They make large, small, and boy.
Do they have an IPA?
They don't have an IPA.
Good, because IPAs taste like shit.
No, well, all of the Bernie Billy Beer tastes like shit. It's redundant to call it IPA.
I understand.
Because it's synonymous with bad beer. Got him.
What is their stance on drunk driving?
Their stance on drunk driving is, if it's in your dream, then do it.
If you get caught, we never heard of you. Can you imagine a beer company? If you drink while driving, we never heard of you. It's like they never heard of you anyway, but...
Stud Chunkman, founder and CEO of Bernie's Billy Beer.
Chunkman.
Stung Chunkman.
Stung Chunkman.
Because if I said Stud Chunkman, that would be stealing a Mystery Science Theater joke, and I never steal jokes. Mm-hmm. So
I never steal jokes from Mystery Science Theater, except when I do so without realizing I've done it, because it's so ingrained into my brain I can't tell the difference anymore.
That is true. Things do be like that sometimes. Welcome to Frankenstein Control, everybody. I'm putting my foot down. Today's the day. We're doing it. 8 months after the game has come out and everybody's sick of hearing about it, this is our Elden Ring episode. Let's just go ahead and talk about it.
Yes.
It's fun.
Okay, thank you for that review. Now, moving on to the next subject.
I watched a horrible movie.
Oh my god.
What's the movie?
It was called Geostorm. It was a disaster movie that came out in 2017 and immediately vanished, despite the fact that the frontman was Gerard Butler.
Most disaster movies do go, because nobody wants to see them anymore, because we live it now.
We're living a disaster.
And that's what's so funny, because this movie came out in 2017. It took place in 2019.
Oh, the near-distant future.
The near-distant future. It was about all disaster movies, especially one like this. By the way, there is no geostorm in the movie. They made it sound like it's a global warming. It's climate change and global warming are the buzzwords and scares.
Makes it sound like a meteor shower.
It does. It doesn't. It's just Alduin vomiting all over the place.
Oh, that boy's got to stop throwing up the souls of old heroes on people. It's nasty. I got fucking Ysgramor on the bottom of my shoe. It's gross, dude.
Ew, there's Ysgramor in the sink. There's no garbage disposal in this one, Alduin. Fuck off.
Codlac white mane, but also Codlac beige colored when he is Alduin vomit.
Ew. I don't even remember what I was talking about anymore.
You're talking about Geostorm.
So, it tees itself up to look like it's going to be a disaster movie about the effects of climate change, making a Sanderson-style Everstorm, but instead
it just made the walruses climb the mountain and fall down a bunch.
Fall to their deaths. Now, that's just footage of Harvey Weinstein's public execution.
Oh, my God! Well played.
The loathsome dung eater.
Loathsome dung eater.
Sorry. No, so it starts out, it's a very American movie because it talks about climate change and then it says, then we fought back. Fighting climate change is what we're going to do. Fighting it vindictively, not trying to mitigate its effects.
Oh, I thought you meant fight climate change as in going through the proper channels of making sure that proper legislation is levied against the billion-dollar corporations that make money off of ruining the planet every year. No, we fought it with our fists.
We fought it with
guns
and bombs.
And bombs.
Did
There we
they punch a tornado?
So this is the premise of the
movie.
movie.
Did they nuke the hurricane?
This is the delightful premise. Yes, this is the delightful premise of this movie.
They nuked the hurricane. I knew it.
The whole world was threatened by this horrible. So in 2017, global warming / climate change / whatever you want to call it ramps up sevenfold and is so bad
That's a good band.
Avenged Sevenfold. So bad that it's like, causing a tsunami or some kind of climate event somewhere in the world like all the time now, because it's global warming is so bad now in 2017.
The future.
The future. And so because humanity was threatened by this collective scary thing, we all banded together.
Oh, did we?
And put our differences aside and built an array of satellites that drop bombs on weather patterns and blow them up and dissipate these weather events before they happen.
Oh my god.
And these massive fucking satellites, which look like shit. The CGI looks like absolute dog shit in this movie, by the way. These are full-on space stations with artificial gravity.
Oh.
They
didn't have the budget to make people float around. It's fine.
Yeah.
Nope. They straight up just flagrantly dock the space shuttle with these things and walk around inside them.
They doxed the space shuttle? Oh my god.
They thought we'd have artificial gravity in 2019 in space stations that we built by like all the world coming together to fight something we were threatened
Well, hold
by.
up. Were they like rotating space stations?
No.
Oh, okay.
They were shit.
Okay.
Maybe
if
they were.
If they were spinning around like a carnival ride, I might be like, okay, they might have gravity a little bit. They also be throwing up a bunch. But.
I was also really high when we watched the movie.
Oh,
so I don't
okay.
remember if they did or not, but they might have. But I think they were just sort of like, just go with it. Just go with it. It's a fucking fantasy.
Yeah.
Just go with it. It's shit. We know.
No,
it's shit.
You're not paid enough to care.
Yeah, they're gonna fucking like come at you with the response of like, oh, so like there's in a movie where the entire world is gripped by a giant storm system and we're using bombs to defuse it. You're gonna get upset about a little anti-gravity at the space station?
Exactly.
And I'm gonna go, yes, actually, because believe it or not, it is more implausible to have artificial gravity than it is to bomb a storm out of existence.
Yeah.
That's how impossible anti-gravity is. How impossible artificial gravity is. It's really fucking hard to do.
Oh,
Liberally hard.
by the way, they named the satellite array weapon system. They named it Dutch Boy.
Oh.
They do not have any explanation for why the fuck they named it Dutch Boy. It's the dumbest name they could have possibly picked.
Because they like fingering lesbians.
They like to stick their finger in the...
bleep that word out. Everyone will know.
See,
but
the
bleep
thing-
it out anyway.
I was making a lewd reference to that fairy tale and completely didn't... I innocently walked into that.
I admit, I walked you into it.
Yeah.
I took advantage of sweet, simple B-Rye.
You did, like you always do.
Yes. I pushed him under the bus for my financial gain.
But seriously, they call the fucking satellites Dutch Boy, which is the dumbest name they could have possibly given them, and they never miss a single opportunity for the entire, 2.5-hour movie.
To play a Creed song?
No, not that, but
Oh.
they never miss an opportunity to use the word Dutch Boy to refer to the satellite. They refer to the satellite as many times as possible as Dutch
Weird.
Boy. And it is so stupid. And... if I had $1 for every time they said Dutch Boy, I could have reimbursed them the budget and paid them to not make the movie. And I truly wish I could have. Gerard Butler is the front man, and he's very much a toxic masculinity hero kind of guy.
Who is he? What else is he in?
This is Sparta!
Yeah.
Yeah, he's that.
He's Gerard Butler.
He's Gerard Butler. I like him personally. He just was not good in this horrible movie. Every single character is an awful stereotype. It is shit. Ed Harris. I wrote this down. I kept a running diary as we watched the movie of things to mock because it was all so funny.
Oh my god!
I guess Ed Harris was not the president. Ed Harris.
Ed Sheeran.
There was a character who was the president. The evil president was a Democrat, by the way.
Of course he was.
And then he's like not the first. They think he's the bad guy, and then he's not the bad guy. It doesn't make sense. I didn't get to the crux of the issue, which is the fact that there is no geostorm in this movie at all. There's no situation
But
where...
you just said it was a gigantic storm system.
Well, I guess it was like...
So it is a storm that takes over the geography of the world.
It's...
I hear geostorm, I think of like volcanic activity, like geothermal.
Yeah,
something
that's
like
because
that.
you have
What
a
I'm
brain.
picturing is a rock tornado.
That'd be cool, man.
Like a tornado with just a bunch of like, glowing for some reason boulders.
That'd be
That is an elder-
okay. An F5. That's a great pitch for a movie, right? Disaster movie, right there. It's called The Real Geostorm, kind of like the real Ghostbusters. And what happens is an F5 tornado hits an active volcano, and it becomes a lava tornado, a geostorm, if you will.
Yeah.
And that'd be fucking cool.
Yeah.
So what actually happens is...
we need to talk about the Meg.
Yeah.
Since we're talking about shitty movies.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good. Shut up, Meg. So the plot of this movie is that someone hijacked the satellite array and is now using...
Wait, so the plot of the movie isn't that they're bombing storms, it's that somebody hijacked the storm bombing satellite?
and is using it for nefarious purposes. And,
oh my god, it's Antifa. They went and they got hold of the...
It's fucking...
Is it Antifa?
It's not the Antifa, but it's that kind of shit.
Oh, is it an eco-terrorist?
I don't even remember.
Let me get that's my guess right now. If the bad guy in the movie is a Democratic president, which honestly, not too far off. I'm a leftist. I'd buy it.
Yeah.
Anyway, but no. Regardless, they're probably an eco-terrorist, and we brought this on ourselves. I'm merely ensuring that nature takes its planet back.
It's not even that.
What?
It's not even that. It's asshole Ed Harris. I'm spoiling a huge part of this movie, but you're welcome.
Oh no!
And he goes on the microphone. He goes, "I'm in love with the shape of you. Last night you were in my room."
Ed Harris is an old bald man who looks like Dale.
Wait, Ed Harris, is that the guy from? Is that the dad from that '70s show?
No.
Oh.
So anyhow, Ed Harris in this movie is straight up using the satellite to try and provoke World War III or some shit, and he's also trying to commit genocide by using the weather weapon to kill people we don't like in an imperialistic fashion. And people are like, "Why the fuck are you doing this?" And he's like, "It's a bad movie, that's why." And
see, the most unrealistic thing about that guy's the president?
No, I thought he was the president for half the movie, and then it turns out he's like the bodyguard to the president, who you've never seen at any point.
Because then I would have said that'd be the most unrealistic thing ever, is a Democratic president doing anything.
Yeah. At all. Good or bad.
Got him!
Yeah.
Whoever the president... And bear in mind that this movie came out in 2017, took place in 2019, so I guess they thought that we would have replaced Trump with Ed Harris for some reason at this point.
But it wasn't Ed Harris.
No,
you said it wasn't
it was
the
some
president.
other guy.
You said it was... Okay, the new president of this movie is being played by Wayne Knight.
Yeah, we'll say that. Yes, perfect. I got Dodson here.
Vera, I can really tell that you were high when you watched this, based off of your recollection.
Honestly, you really, if you watch this movie stone cold sober, you would come away with exactly the same takes, because it
and the
is
exact
so
amount of brain damage.
Exactly. It is so incomprehensible and such a fucking mess that your brain would almost deliberately begin tuning out parts of it to save your sanity. Just the fact that, I just think it's really funny that the trope of disaster movies where humanity comes together to fight whatever it is never going to work again.
Right,
because of how badly we fucking cocked it up with COVID.
Yeah, pretty much.
Never going to have any shred of plausibility ever again.
Yeah, humanity is not coming together ever again, folks. Independence Day, Bill Paxton was the last man to bring the world together. God bless him.
I'm checking my notes to see if there's anything funny I haven't covered yet.
Bill Paxton, otherwise known as Budget Kurt Russell.
Did Bill Paxton die?
No, yes?
I don't know. I mean, this is the second episode of our recording session, so who knows what can happen in a week.
That's a good point.
Fucking Gilbert Gottfried died.
He did. Well, he died last week.
Yeah.
Or whenever this episode comes out. He died weeks ago.
He died last week.
Oh, okay.
Anyhow, I'm done talking about Geostorm. It was bad, but it was really funny. So tell me about the Meg.
Okay, yeah, we saw the Meg.
I'm Jason Statham. I'm going to fight a shark.
Jason Statham fights a shark. That is legitimately a fair synopsis of the movie. Not a complete synopsis, but a fair one.
I'm going to drive into it with a race car.
Almost.
I'm gonna ramp a sick Dodge Charger off the shark.
If that could have happened in the movie, and I would have believed it. Yeah, no. First off, foremost, I'm gonna put this up right up front. That movie was not as bad as I thought it was gonna be. It was actually pretty lit.
It's really stupid, but it's really entertaining.
Yes.
That sounds good.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like honestly, in more than just so bad it's good kind of way. More just like it's kind of just good. Because it's so fucking crazy.
As I look at the giant shark,
It's over the
on
top.
Ada's bed.
Yes, it's incredibly over the top. But in the first 5 minutes of the movie, Hero from the popular TV show Heroes gets eaten by a giant shark.
Cool.
And that's a good time.
And they call him Chinese.
Yes! Oh my god! We were watching
We had subtitles on, and I assume the actor as well as the character is Japanese. Mm-hmm. And
his name is fucking Toshi, first and foremost.
God damn it!
The most Japanese name you ever heard in your life.
Right.
And there's a part where he's like writing, like when him and his crew are stranded in their little like small submersible after the Meg attacks their submersible, at front the first time, and like they're it knocks their power out, but also like not enough to kill them, so they're just kind of like waiting for the systems to come back online as the fat dude fixes it. And there's Toshi writing a letter to his wife in fucking Japanese, and then there comes a part where he does a heroic sacrifice to save everybody from the fucking Megalodon, and he goes, "Gomen nasai," and like, gomen, the fucking most Japanese thing you've ever heard in your life, fucking Japanese for sorry, and it says speaking Mandarin in parentheses. I'm like, you fucking racists. Jesus Christ.
He stares the shark down and says, "Ome wa mo shinderu."
And it says speaking Mandarin.
You see a megalodon, you say, "I am already dead."
Yeah, that part was legitimately the only part of the movie where I was like, oh, fuck off. But that was just the subtitles' fault. I wouldn't have known about that if we didn't have the subtitles on.
My best, the best one like that I've ever seen is speaking foreign language.
Yeah.
Or singing in native language. That's another one. It's not a foreign language if it's your language.
So this is not a criticism, but it is something funny that I want to point out. So the events of all this stuff happen is because there's this like diving team that is going below this like cloud of gas or whatever.
Oh, it's a brine cloud.
And it's like isolating anything underneath it. Like nothing can just go through it and still survive.
So basically it's the Lost World Jurassic Park underneath this funny layer of
silt.
Acidic silt, basically.
Yeah.
And think of the Goo Lagoon from SpongeBob. Mm. And so, but only like a brief layer of it, and if you pass through it, there's more ocean.
Right. So there's stuff down there that's been there for millions of years that's not died out.
Yes.
Like the Meg.
Exactly.
Point is that they send a 3-person sub down there to survey it all and see what happens, and that's when they get attacked by the shark. So they're like, we need to rescue them. So somebody with no experience goes to try to rescue them. They fail, and then Jason Statham, who's apparently the best rescue diver in the world.
Well, the movie starts out. Remember, the movie starts out.
Well, I mean that's not what I'm trying to get to. I'm not trying to do a whole plot synopsis.
Okay, I want to point something out too about it.
Yeah, but so like he's going down there to rescue 3 people and the rescuer, for a total of four lives that he has to save. Mm-hmm. And in trying to do that rescue, they release the shark from that thing, and that shark kills two of the 4 people he was trying to rescue, as well as like 7 other people on their crew.
Yeah.
So this is very much the trolley problem of movies, where it's like save these 2 people and let a lot of people die, or don't save these 4 people and a lot of people don't die. It's just kind of funny when you think of it, like, yeah, this is all really pointless.
Yeah.
The Megalodon problem.
Yeah.
I will say part of what lends a bunch of like points to the movie in terms of watching it for more than just like the value, like, all right, get to the fucking shark or whatever, is they kind of make it a central point of the movie to add this. You're kind of rooting for Jason Statham's character a little bit, just because at the beginning of the movie, He's this underwater diver man.
This is not his first encounter with the shark.
Yes, he's
When
at the
long
beginning of the
ago-
movie. There was a nuclear sub that sank to the bottom of the ocean beyond the stinky point.
Did it kill his father?
No, it didn't kill his father, but he had
It
to
ruined
save
his career.
He had to
his
save a
mental
bunch of
health.
people on this
The shark got
nuclear
him canceled.
sub. And he goes in and he starts like, come on, get on the funny thing, come on, we.
Get on the funny thing.
And
Come on, we.
and then shit starts going wrong, and he's like, "Oh, crikey, some bad shit be happening, mate." And
You fucking what, mate?
yeah, and then the shark starts chomping on but you don't see the shark yet, though. You only see something's going
Something's
wrong
out there.
on the submarine. Yes, and he saves like half the people on the sub, and then he's like, "This place is going tits up. I gotta get the fuck out of here. Time to save who I've been able to save. Bye, everybody else." And like the sub was getting fucked up. Like it was literally a second away from exploding.
Yeah.
And he fucking is like, bye! And he closes the bulkhead and they fucking dip. And then, like, immediately Dr. Dickface is like, "You fucking killed all those men.
You abandoned those men.
You abandoned them."
He's like, would you rather just died? Would you rather all of this been a waste and all of us died?
I could put you back.
Yeah.
I think in real
But
life.
see, and that's it. Those feelings you're feeling, that transfers over and gets you kind of invested in
Yeah,
the movie. You
yeah.
sort of become invested.
He was
in,
right all along. See, it's
that's-
vindication.
Yeah,
That's kinda good.
You want Jason Statham to have a little bit of vindication, especially because even after the Megalodon starts attacking this next crew, even then, Dr. Dickface is now on that crew.
Yeah.
He's just that. Everybody should be getting mad at him. He's a bad luck charm.
Yeah.
But
He summons the shark.
yeah,
Did he get
Dr.
eaten?
Dickface summons the shark.
Did Dr. Dickface get eaten?
Yes, he gave himself up in a heroic sacrifice to save somebody.
Okay.
Who
There's a
ended up-
lot of that in this movie.
There's a lot of that. There's a
Like
lot of I'm going to
50% of the
heroically
day.
sacrifice myself
it's
and
a
get
real
eaten by
trope
the
in
shark.
shark movies, Morty.
Yeah.
And like there are a number of shots of that movie that are like actually legit awesome.
Yeah.
Like the bit where the little girl is playing in the big acrylic tube. And the fucking shark just goes, and like bites on the tube, and like suddenly and spookily, I was like, "Whoa, that's a good shot. That's
Yeah.
good." Like, I was legitimately impressed at times, and also the movie is incredibly fucking stupid. It's great because there's all these like harrowing situations with like the movie keeps ramping up. It keeps ramping up with the danger. It keeps ramping up the the danger of the shark.
Right.
They catch the shark early on, and then you realize, oh, there's still
half a
45
movie
minutes
left.
to this movie left.
Yeah.
And then a shark 3 times as big as the first one leaps out of the water and grabs the dead one.
To eat him.
And it's just
Oh,
like,
God.
We're in Sharktopia, baby!
Now I
there's
kinda wanna
another
watch
one? This doesn't make any fucking sense, but it's cool.
It is pretty cool.
it. Where do you guys watch it on? What platform?
YouTube.
YouTube, yeah, we
Okay.
just rented on YouTube. But like, the movie culminates. The movie culminates in we have to evacuate the beaches scene.
Of course.
Yeah.
Except nobody ever says we have to evacuate the beaches because nobody believes the crew that a giant 500-foot prehistoric shark is heading towards one of the most populated beaches in Thailand.
Which is honestly pretty plausible.
It is plausible. Like, it's definitely a dumb move on their part to be like, a giant prehistoric shark is heading towards the most populated beach in Thailand. Warn all the governments.
Yeah,
And all the governments
just
are like,
like-
fuck off. What are you talking about?
Just like say that there is like we track sharks.
Yes.
There's a lot of sharks that are heading this way for some
there's
reason.
like, there's a wayward pod of great whites heading towards there on a migratory pattern.
Yeah.
You evacuate me. You could have said that, but instead, Antonio Banderas from Spy Kids decides to tell them that there is a ancient shark heading towards them, like an idiot.
Why the fuck? So this always goes back to if you think about it too much, it's like why would a giant creature want to eat a small human?
Exactly.
It's
That's
like,
that's
it's not-
what always is so funny about these
They
movies.
establish it very early on.
Uh-huh.
They establish it early on.
Oh, they
It's
hate
not-
light or something.
It's not that they want to eat humans. It's that it is attracted to bright lights and flailing, panicky motion. That's it. It operates like a eating machine. It doesn't really want to eat people because it's funny, but it notices things flopping around and it goes yummy.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's a ton of things flopping around in the ocean.
That's true.
That are not humans.
Those things hunted whales.
Yeah,
That's what they evolved to do.
You gotta go out of your way to
here's
find
the
humans
thing,
in the
though.
ocean, and yet they find them immediately.
There's a reason why everything's always empty when they're in that big open water. It's because they know the big giant sharks around, and all the fish go, "Fuck this," and they swim away.
I'm going to a beach in Thailand.
Yeah, I'm going to.
He'll never come there.
He'll never come this way. Yeah, and there's definitely a lot of scenes of like I must heroically flail about so that I may be heroically eaten, vored by a shark, and but again, it's compelling enough that we watched it the whole way through.
Yeah,
and I gotta say the beach scene was actually legitimately awesome. At times, like it was the perfect balance of like, whoa, that's a cool shot, and oh my god, I can't believe this is happening, and then the fucking final battle at the end of the movie, the way Jason I don't want to give too much away. If fucking at least watch that scene because it's ridiculous, but the way Jason Statham finishes off the shark at the end of the Meg is borderline anime. It's fucking incredible.
That sounds great.
We were all screaming. Like, ah! It was the best. Oh, I highly recommend it. The Meg gets my seal of approval.
Also, a little brownie point it earned with me is that there's a scene where it looks like a little dog gets eaten, and it's like, don't kill the dog. Even then, at the end of the game, the end of the movie, the dog is okay.
Good.
So it's like they didn't kill the dog.
You always have to establish that the dog or the animal is okay.
Yeah.
And I liked Geostorm because they had a brief scene with a cute
With
kitty
the
in it.
Megalodon.
No, that they had a brief scene with a cute kitty and the cat. Like, even though the city the cat was in exploded, they don't show anything happening to the cat. And a lot of movies do a thing that I hate, where if any animal dies, it's a cat, and if any pet dies in a comedic fashion, it's a cat. And that has always incensed me beyond.
Well, I think it's because you can add in that stock. Yeah, that cat stock sound
Which is
effect.
objectively funny.
Yes. Ada, put it in there. See, it's funny.
Yeah.
You could also do the chicken noise.
Oh, yeah.
That's way better.
Yeah, kill a chicken.
We eat 'em
chicken.
anyway.
We eat them anyway. It's funny. They explode into feathers. It's all good. It's comedic. You know how to kill they kill a cute little one of God's creatures that God actually cares about, like a cat.
It's a chicken. They used to be dinosaurs, and now they're this. Let's laugh at them.
Yeah, exactly. Let us express our dominance over dinosaurs because of chickens exist. Mm-hmm. Just kill a chicken. Kill a chicken. Don't kill a cat. Kill a chicken. Don't kill a cat or a dog. Make the dog, mix her up with a human girl and make her go, Edward friend.
Edward friend. Edward. That was a good one.
I'll thank you very much. No, the funny movie... Meg Good, Geostorm, all talking about these movies where people get hilariously murdered by nature. There was a movie that fucking out of nowhere, well, I guess not out of nowhere, but like unexpectedly, Roland Emmerich finally released his latest disaster movie. Roland Emmerich is the director of Independence Day.
Okay.
And
I knew I'd heard the name before.
And like 2012, and pretty much any movie where everything on the earth gets irreparably destroyed.
Yeah.
That's probably a Roland Emmerich movie. And the latest one is called Moonfall, and guess what it's about?
Does the moon fall?
What, are you crazy?
Is it
It's
that
about a geostorm. Yeah, it's about the moon falling.
So it's that episode of Cowboy Bebop with the old kid.
But it's also not about the moon falling. It's about everything, I guess you could say. It's like, honestly, it was just an excuse for Roland Emmerich to be like, I now destroy the entire and now destroys a whole fucking planet because it's funny. Like, the moon gets so close to the Earth that it basically, like, scrapes it, and you get to watch people's perspective as a giant planet scrapes on them and starts fucking with the gravity. So, like, people start, like, floating and shit, and, like, ah! The whole sky's on fucking fire, and it temporarily steals all the air on the Earth. and if that isn't enough, it's revealed the reason why the moon fell is because millions of years ago, humans lived on another planet. And an AI became self-aware, and when an AI becomes self-aware, it featured it just as like a fucking Alexa in a house, like a futuristic version of an Alexa in some future person's house.
Alexa, make the moon fall.
Yeah, and then it just goes beep, and like it has a red light turn on, and then all of a sudden, Grey Goose scenario, 1000%, everything gets fucked up by nanomachines.
Right.
And the remnants of the human race make a lifeboat to what is now Earth. And the human race started, all that shit happened. The AI followed them, got fucked up, and had to core into the moon. And it finally, when it reached the moon's core, it turned the denser part of the moon's core into a white dwarf star and built a Dyson sphere around it to power something. And that something allowed the moon to come to the Earth. They couldn't just have the moon get hit by a big asteroid. It's coming towards us. No.
Did Andrew Hussey write this movie?
Seriously, like I couldn't believe it. Like, Roland, what are you doing?
Yeah.
What the fuck is happening, man?
It's so convoluted for what this seems to be on the surface level.
You don't even need a cause. Just have the moon start falling.
It's scary enough.
Yeah.
That's a scary enough premise.
Oh, also...
What if that happened? We'd be fucked.
And don't forget that this is a Roland Emmerich movie, so literally it's just Independence Day, but with a different flavor. So, like, the movie follows a bunch of... It follows an angsty teen boy who has problems with his dad. It follows a military service person as they are experiencing all the crazy world shenanigans. There comes a part where the comic relief character has to go in a small spaceship with one of our main characters into the core of the dangerous thing and make it better. It's just Independence Day again, but now it's the moon instead of an alien. Except it is an alien because it's from another planet. Roland Emmerich, what are you doing? Shame on you. And the thing of it is that it's completely bombed. Nobody's fucking seen it. It's out, like, recently.
Yeah.
Oh, recently.
Yes,
I've
recently.
been seeing Moonfall trending. Like,
And nobody fucking watched it.
Yeah.
And also, like, apparently Roland, like, backed this himself. Like, this is
a passion project.
the boy just likes to watch the world end.
His kink, just like Robert Downey Jr.'s shitting dragon.
Oh, that's true. Robert Downey Jr. fucking jacks off to
We gotta watch that
bagpipe
with
dragons.
Kelsey.
Oh, no!
Yeah, we have to.
This is how divorce happens.
You're not married yet. Look, if she can't stay with you through Doolittle, then it's just not gonna work.
Through more like Pooh Little.
Poo a lot. Bagpipes.
Robert Downey Jr. who's writing all the tri-finger butthole by the dragon enemies in Elden Ring.
Are you talking... What?
Robert Downey Jr. is playing Elden Ring, and he's going behind every dragon and putting a message tri-finger butthole.
Okay. The way you said tri-finger, it sounded like tri-finger, like three fingers. I was like, there is a there is a three fingers in Elden Ring, so I got all confused. I'm like, tri-finger. Tri-finger is the newest Doolittle movie that's going to come out. Tri-finger butthole. Oh, brother. Well, I hope, everyone, that we told you enough about the latest disaster-type funny movies to watch. Just watch The Meg.
Yeah.
That one's pretty good. The other one's not so much, no.
You're kind of selling me on this Moonfall.
The Moonfall movie?
Just because of how shit it sounds.
Did
you watch it, or did you just see somebody on YouTube?
I watched somebody on YouTube, and I'm like, I was like you. I'm like, I kind of want to watch this, and I did, and I'm like, I'm not as invested in this as I thought I was gonna be.
Okay, so it just kind of sucks.
Yeah, unfortunately, it doesn't grab you like the Meg did, and I
Okay.
think that's kind of necessary.
Yeah.
Especially on a solo watch. Maybe if I watched it all the way through with friends, we'd all have a good, funny laugh.
Yeah.
We usually do.
You know, maybe. Maybe. I also don't want to get Roland Emmerich money.
Yeah.
If he's gonna, it's like giving a homeless man money on the street. You're just gonna spend it on booze. Roland Emmerich, I'm not gonna give you money. You're just gonna spend it on. You're just gonna spend it on more disaster movies.
You're just gonna spend your money on disaster movies.
I mean, that's
and booze.
That's also true.
That's literally the night we had with the Meg.
Yeah, but those are mine. I get to enjoy those. And me getting drunk doesn't make
more disaster movies.
Doesn't make more disaster movies. Oh my God. Speaking of disaster, this podcast is a disaster. Mm-hmm. Oh my God, look! It's a giant shark the size of the moon, has a white dwarf star in its pregnant belly, and it's gonna give birth to the geostorm. It's
Thank
right
God.
out the window.
Hey guys, I'm a giant mutant shark from the prehistoric age, and I'm the moon size, and I've got something in my belly that will destroy the whole world. And I hope you all enjoy me killing and eating you. Goodbye.
Well, this seemed pretty pleasant, actually. I think I'll go with it. Wow!
Now even you know I am a menace. I hand you the secrets to save the entire human race and the entire universe.